Hey, just want to make sure that you have your documents. The last document I provided for you looked like this. Today, you should be receiving a document that is an outline. I'm going to give you some summary information from this, so just want to remind you of our objective for Chapter 7, where we're still dealing with the Industrial Revolution, and we're analyzing the emergence and expansion of that revolution. We're looking at the social, economic, and geographic and political implications uh, that resulted from it, such as imperialism, okay, and the rise of nationalist movements to combat or resist imperial endeavors. Um, so on this document, I'm going to start with page 1 and kind of zoom through and look at a couple of pages with you. So the beginning of this document talks about the trade, early contacts with Europeans. We're talking about imperialism in China.
Mr. Jeremy, contact the South Office. Mr. Jeremy, contact the South Office.
The Portuguese were trading in the 16th century for silk and tea. The Dutch and English come after the Portuguese. In 1644, we have a group called the Manchus, and the Qin dynasty comes as a result of this group in 1644. The Chinese were forced to wear pigtails as a sign of subservient status. In the 18th centuries, the Manchus began restricting Europeans down to missionaries and traders. They said, those only people that can come here. Y'all can't just come here for nothing. Missionaries and traders can come. The first Opium War that we saw the video on yesterday, from 1839 to 1842, totally about the British smuggling opium in and making the Chinese become addicts. The Treaty of Nanking in 1842 provided for 4 additional ports in China: Amoy, Ningpo, Fuzhou, and Shanghai. The British also controlled Hong Kong as a result of the Treaty of Nanking. Very important. China had to pay indemnity and limited to a 5% tariff, which meant quit charging all this money for our goods to come here. We want to make sure that our stuff can come into China for cheap, so people buy it. Other Westerners in China, we had Belgium, France, Holland, the Netherlands, Portugal, Prussia, which is also Germany, the United States, were all influences in China during this time. They said they wanted to have spheres of influence. Exclusive trading areas. They wanted extraterritoriality. Extraterritoriality means we get to do our laws over here. If one of our people breaks your laws, we're gonna try them in our court with our laws in your land. See, some folks don't like that. Second Opium War was from 1856 to 1860, also known as the Arrow War. Some of the results: there were more Chinese ports opened up to European trade. Opium traffic was legalized. They legalized opium, protection of Christian missionaries. All foreign vessels could navigate the Yangtze River. U.S. and Russia also participated in the peace process. Russia's border extended to the Amur River. Maritime provinces, Pacific area without permafrost. This is some stuff that came as a result of the Second Opium War. They lost the Hong Kong or China. They lost it too. They founded Vladivostok in 1860. This is a part of the Second Opium War ending, and there was basically a lot of more stuff that China had to give up. That's my phone, way over there, listening to me. More foreign control of China. We have them trying to get into Burma, which is Myanmar. It was annexed by the British. Formosa is annexed, is attacked by the Japanese in 1895. Korea is annexed by the Japanese in 1910. The Liaotung Peninsula, which is Manchuria, concessions were given to Japan in 1910. Imperial powers, particularly Japan and Russia, vied for control of the Manchurian Railway. France, Germany, and Russia coerced Japan to return the Liaotung Peninsula to China. There's a new scramble for China, wherein France is getting a 99-year lease in an area called Guangzhou. Germany gets the Shantung Peninsula. Great Britain gets Wahawi, which is a naval base, and the Yangtze Valley. Great Britain wants that. Russia wants the Liaotung Peninsula. They want a lease. Manchuria is another thing that Russia wanted. They wanted economic concessions. The Boxer Rebellion, very important. Chinese people resented foreign influence and power. So they established something called the Order of Patriotic Harmonious Fists. Order of the Patriotic Harmonious Fists. That was the name of the group. They were called Boxers. They demanded that foreigners leave China. They killed 300 and vandalized foreign property. European imperialists, Americans, and Japanese put down the rebellion. China paid $333 million in damages and had to permit military forces in Peking, which is modern-day Beijing, and Tianjin. Fall of the Qing or the Manchu dynasty. Empress Dowager CC, 1835 to 1908. Under her, de facto Chinese monarch, there was a leader, king or queen, an emperor, but they was like just de facto, not really de jure, not like legal. Make me unhappy for a day and I will make you unhappy for a lifetime. This is what the Empress Dowager, female, did. Conservative and anti-foreign. She was blamed by many Chinese for foreign imperialistic power in China. Emperor Pui, which was called the last emperor, lived from 1906 to 1967. Ruled China from 1908 to 1912 and as a puppet for 12 days in 1917. The puppet emperor of Manchukuo, which was Japanese ruled Manchuria from 1932 to 1945. Also, this emperor Pui, the last emperor, spent 10 years in a Soviet prison after World War II, lived a quiet life as a regular citizen in communist China, died of disease during the Cultural Revolution in 1967. The Republican Revolution in the Republic of China. We got some disunity. Sun Yat-sen and some local warlords fought a group called the Kuomintang, the KMT. It's really, really serious. We got this arguing going on. We've got this internal unrest. The foreigners were already upsetting the Asians, the Chinese, as well as the Japanese. Everybody's, vying for territory. And things get really, really dirty, okay? And they get really, really blurry. And for a long period of time, there is unrest. And basically, you have a big blow up of a Chinese civil war, okay, or the Cultural Revolution or the Chinese Revolution. It's all the different names for it. But the Kuomintang is one side of it, and we'll definitely get a video to help support some information on that. So as you get to the end of this document, where the last page talks about the Civil War in China, some of the dates here, the end of imperialism in China as a result of them going into this communist situation. Now, everybody stay away from here. This is what happens. There are some review questions that I definitely want you to be able to answer, and they will be on your quiz on Friday. So, thank you for listening, and you have a great day.